Hey guys, welcome to a special edition of Gamers, Remorse, and Friends Play Dungeons and Dragons, where I am by myself, and we are not playing Dungeons and Dragons. A couple weeks ago when we went to record, I had some craziness happen with my computer, and the video file was completely corrupt, so we lost everything. Fortunately, it was a episode mostly of math, which I will explain shortly. We decided before posting the video we recorded last week, we would shoot this video so I could explain what happened, so it didn't just leave you guys wondering. So with no further ado, let's jump to the map here. So as you can see here, we're picking up where we left off previously. All the people gathered around the encampment where the kobolds and some of the humans had been straggling behind. The group had revived one of the cult members, and they were able to question him quite harshly. In fact, Gilgamesh was holding him to a rock by the throat, while a few of the other players held him at sword point, Galaneus at bow point, while they were attempting to get information from him. They managed to learn that there was a rear guard, likely between them and the final encampment. They learned the camp size was roughly 800 by 1,000 feet wide. Why they're using feet instead of the metric system in this fantasy land is your call as well as mine. The players had leveled up, which we discussed slightly the week before. And so here we kind of got to see some more of the... I guess we'll get to that when we get there, but we'll get to see some more of the new abilities. Here as they're intimidating / interviewing / whatever else you want to call it, this man, they also learned that they likely had taken captives. They believed there were potentially 5 to 10 captives taken. He was not sure, however, if any of them were half-elves. After some interrogation, one of the players asked the question of robe colorings. What color of robes do the people in the group wear? To which he replied the higher-ups in the order were purple, the lower-ups were red, but often people will walk around in just standard wear about the camp when they're not on raids. When pressed further, he mentioned that there are very few purple robes, but there are 2 half-dragons and 1 female that kind of run the camp. But he was yet to be initiated, so he didn't know a whole lot. He only knew what he had observed. Eventually, I believe it was Galaneus who had posed the idea that they could wear the robes as they approached, to which someone countered one of them could wear the robes and treat the others as if they were lackeys or prisoners even. And when they ran the idea past the man, I had them roll charisma and insight, to which pretty much he told them the best option they had was to all wear robes and go in as if they owned the place. But after an additional insight check, they presumed he was likely lying. And upset with that, they killed him. So the man, that was what they got information-wise. So then they debated on which way to go, and they eventually chose to follow the road, which led them to a chasm. So you can see all of our fancy artwork that I did here. And essentially they came up to a giant plateau. So if you imagine, the Moab, Utah, or the Grand Canyon, you just have these very tall rock formations. They had a rock formation that was about a mile wide. They estimated about half a mile deep and about 100 feet tall. And so they were trying to decide what to do and how to get about it. And eventually Aranor used his spider form, and he scaled to the side of the wall, climbed over top where he saw there were groups of people lying in wait in hope of ambushing them. So then as he returned back down and resumed his human form, he informed them of this, and then they debated roughly 30 minutes, honestly. I kind of wish we had some of the debate, but to be honest, you're not missing a whole lot. They're debating, do they just rush in? Do they try to climb? Do they go around? Just discussing all these different aspects. At one point, they calculated their movement speed to determine how quickly they could scale the wall, and it was an interesting experience, to say the least. And eventually, they climbed the side of the plateau, and Aranor spider climbed again. He resumed his wolf spider form, climbed up the side of the plateau, and then tied a rope on the top, and they took turns climbing up the rope. At which point they were making dexterity checks and strength checks to see how well they did. All of them made it up fine. They walked across the plateau, made some observations, and they saw about a little over a mile in the distance there was another plateau that looked almost like a horseshoe. And they could see some fires coming, or smokes coming from fires within, and a guard tower on the far side, but it's too far to make out much detail. And they were able to presume from what they had learned from the cultist that that was likely the camp they were looking for. After more debate on how to get down from the plateau, finally they tied the ropes back off again, and they took turns climbing down before finally casting the rope down and then Remorse spider climbing down again. However, as I believe it was Twidget who was climbing down, or possibly Vendetta, they failed one of their saving throws, or dexterity throws, and so they fell, to which we rolled distance, so 1d4 times 10, and he ended up falling just about 20 feet, to which Gilgamesh made a quick snap decision to try to save him, so rolling dexterity, we subtracted his dexterity from the falling damage that he would have taken, so he only took 4 damage total upon the fall, which he quickly healed up using good berries from their druid friend. In this we got to see some of the druid's spider shape abilities, as well as good berry and a few other things here and there. But that was about it. It took them about 2 hours to interrogate a guy, get that information, and then scale a plateau. And so that is where we will be picking up in the next videos, which will be coming up in the next couple days. And hopefully we'll be getting a huge slew of them out. We've been quite busy between, actually, now that the studio and this side is back up and running, getting some more normal game content for you guys outside of role-playing, as well as filming role-playing games and non-Gamers Remorse life issues. So we're excited for you guys to see what happens next, and we will see you soon. Watch for more videos in the next day or two. Alright, bye.